Why do you think XRP's ETF might perform differently if you kind of compare, I guess, Bitcoin and ETH right now, who are going head to head?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's really three different reasons why I believe that XRP is going to do well versus ETH, for instance. One of them is staking. So if you're actually a bit more crypto native, you're not going to buy an ETH ETF because you can go to one of the crypto exchanges or go somewhere off chain or actually on chain. You can get a 2 to 3% yield.
Right.
So why would you buy an ETF if you can get a yield on top of your token somewhere else? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And since XRP doesn't offer that, then it doesn't matter whether it's on an exchange, whether it's in an ETF or not. You're not losing out on anything. So that's reason number one.
Hey, what's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that XRP could hit $30 this bull cycle? Or what if a massive financial player like Hidden Road is quietly setting up a game changer with RLUSD? And hold up, Stripe, the payments giant, is building a blockchain called Tempo. These stories are buzzing in crypto right now, and they could shift the market in ways that you don't want to miss. Stick around to find out why these headlines matter and how they could impact your portfolio. Plus, we will be heading over to X to find out all the breaking news happening in the crypto world today. We're going to head over to Forex Factory and find out the red folder news that you need to know about the financial markets this week. We will also be jumping into the charts, looking at XRP, looking at the next resistance and support levels that you need to know about right now. Plus, we'll be looking at the long-term and short-term momentum waves and so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do for you every single day on this channel, make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. First things first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap, check out the overall health of the crypto market today. We have done it. We have broken above $4 trillion market cap again. We are currently up 2.92% in the last 24 hours. This comes on the backs of $208 billion worth of trading in the last 24 hours. Fear and greed index coming in at 63. We have finally gotten out of neutral zone back into that greed level that we like, the light green. We got to be paying attention for when we get to that extreme greed. Altcoin season still not doing too hot, 34 out of 100. Even though Bitcoin dominance has continued to come down, now 58.8%. Really what we're seeing is a super surge by Ethereum. As you can see, Ethereum up 4% in the last week, and then all other altcoins only up 0.84. Taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF tracker this week thus far, we are up $156 million. It was a $21 million outflow in the last 24 hours. Ethereum inflows doing crazy good this week, over $1 billion worth of inflows, $53 million worth in the last 24 hours. Top 6 cryptos by total market cap. Number 1, Bitcoin at 119,908. Number 2, Ethereum at 46.19. Number 3, XRP at $3.25. Number 4, Tether at $1. Number 5, BNB at $834. And Solana at number 6 at $193. Today, the core inflation numbers, consumer price index did come out forecasted at 0.3% month over month. It was exactly that, 0.3%. Also, CPI month over month forecasted at 0.2%, came in at 0.2%. But check this out. Inflation year over year is down. It was forecasted at 2.8%. It came in actually at 2.7%. Now, it is highlighted in red, but this is actually a very positive news. Inflation is coming down against all odds, against all this craziness with the tariffs. Will this continue? We will check back in next month for you as well, but we do check these numbers every single week. No important news coming out tomorrow. Thursday, a big day. It's going to be producer price inflation. So did the businesses making items to sell to the consumers inflate? We will find out that on Thursday. Also, the big news coming out is the unemployment claims. It is currently forecasted at 225. If it is a number less than that, we should see really, really good moves to the upside in all markets. Then on Friday, we're going to see how the retail sales are doing. Again, another indication of how the economy is doing with people on purchasing. And then we'll also have the consumer sentiment and inflation expectation. But overall, a great day of good news for consumer price inflation numbers. Very positive for the United States economy. Heading over to X to find out the breaking news. Let's continue this video that was done by Paul Barron. It was reposted by John Squire here. Breaking news. Canary Capital CEO says an XRP ETF could outperform Ethereum ETFs. And that is absolutely insane considering what we just saw a minute ago. Ethereum ETF inflows over $1 billion. Could you imagine $1 billion worth of inflows to the XRP? The race hasn't even started and XRP might already be in the lead.
Number two, I just mentioned it's really the category leader. So the category leaders that people can understand are gonna make a lot more sense, whereas ETH has a lot more competition in its category. XRP has very little. So people are going to see that as the clear leader. It's done a lot to keep the technology upgraded, continue to move forward, to remain the leader. So, I think that's really, that's really that. And then really the third point here is the demand and the community and the number of people that are following this thing. So, look, I think XRP's $5 billion the first month across the goal. So we'll see how that goes, but I believe out of the gate it's definitely gonna outperform what ETH did out of the gate.
As you heard there, Canary Capital says $5 billion worth of inflows once the XRP ETF is actually approved. So that would be extremely exciting. Absolute moonshot, overnight price increase like crazy. Before we get into this article about XRP going to $30, is it really possible this bull cycle? Let's take a look at some other things that are happening very positive for Ripple right now. Well, Mesh now supports Ripple RLUSD. RLUSD joins 50 plus supported tokens and is now accepted at checkout by merchants. Plus, there was a huge announcement today from crypto.com saying we are excited to announce a strategic partnership with Vivo Power to provide custodial support for the expansion of its digital asset treasury holdings, strategy, and more. And then Firelight reposted it with a quote on top of it saying, big step forward for XRP holders. Through Crypto.com's platform, shareholders will benefit from access to upcoming XRP restaking via Flare Networks, which Vivo Power has already partnered with.
Have you built a crypto portfolio over $1 million but want to access your wealth without selling any of your coins? Well, imagine unlocking up to 85% of your portfolio's value to fund ventures like real estate, to buy other projects in the crypto space that are undervalued compared to the projects that you currently hold, or to diversify into different DeFi yield opportunities. That way you can live on the interest without selling any of your crypto. Well, we've partnered with a leading global office offering non-recourse crypto loans for investors with portfolios starting at $1 million. The same company that is trusted by the world's largest institutions and investors because, as you already know, the billionaires don't sell their crypto, they borrow against it. So if you're ready to unlock up to 85% of your portfolio's value without selling any of your coins and you have a portfolio with at least $1 million, then email us at team@bullrunners.com. You're going to see our email contact in the description below, and we'll get you connected with the company that has helped clients like ours north of $100 million borrow against their crypto without selling any of it. So reach out to start a conversation with our team right now at team@bullrunners.com, and we'll talk to you soon.
On top of that, we have Hidden Road, which was purchased by Ripple. They're using RLUSD through the DCC, and XRP is required for every single transaction that happens. And remember, Hidden Road, which is a global prime broker handling over $3 trillion in annual volume, they're integrating with Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD and with the DTCC, a major financial clearinghouse. Now, why should you care about this, though? Well, this could tie XRP and RLUSD to massive institutional liquidity, potentially handling quadrillions in transactions. Yes, you heard that right. Quadrillions with the Q. Hidden Road's push alongside Ripple's B2B stablecoin platform, rail grabbing 10% of the market, shows serious adoption. And this matters because institutional backing could stabilize and boost XRP utility, which would then make it a go-to for cross-border payments. And if RLUSD gets traction through the DTCC, it could mean more demand for XRP too. So keep an eye on this. It's a quiet but huge move for crypto's real-world use. And a huge move as far as crypto adoption goes. You may or may not have heard of Stripe. If you are a business owner or you've ever done transactions online, you may have very well used Stripe. Well, Stripe is developing a blockchain now called Tempo, and it's going to be in partnership with the VC Paradigm. And this is big because Stripe processes billions in payments yearly, and a blockchain move could bring crypto to the mainstream businesses. Tempo aims to streamline cross-border transactions, competing with systems like XRP's Ledger. Paradigm's involvement with its deep crypto expertise adds credibility. And why this is trending right now is if Stripe's 100 million merchants adopt Tempo, it could onboard millions to crypto, which would then drive adoption and prices across the board. And this matters for anyone holding altcoins, as mainstream integration often sparks market-wide rallies. So watch Tempo. It could shake up huge in the payment space. Now, you also heard in that video with Paul Barron in the beginning, the top 3 reasons why XRP could explode. Well, we also didn't hear the mention of the fact that Ripple is going to try to get its own bank license. Now, if that does happen, if Ripple becomes a bank, the question then becomes, would you consider opening a personal or business bank account with them? Let me know down in the comments section. I know I definitely would, so please share your thoughts. Before we jump into the charts and we look at the next upcoming level of support and also resistance for XRP, we'll be looking at the long-term, short-term momentum waves on different time periods as well. But first, let's hear what other analysts are talking about as far as XRP and how could it really be $30 by mid-2026. And let's not forget that one of our weekly spider lines is all the way up here at $33. Now, right now, they are playing a key role in these lower levels. As you remember, we have just recently ran into our red dotted spider line here at 355, which has also been a previous resistance. But when we start really making these gains, $15 spider line, and then we also have the $30 spider line. XRP is up over 550% since November. And this actually sparked technical analyst Gert Van Langen to predict a broader uptrend toward $34 this bull cycle. XRP did break out of a 7-year double bottom structure after rising above the neckline near $1.80. XRP then pulled back to the neckline, which acted as a support, break, and retest. And in chart terms, such a retest often signals that the breakout is strong and traders are confident in those higher prices, meaning that they have a new base price. So when we open this up and we look at the 2-week XRP candles here, remember when price did finally break out above that $1.90 high, it did come back down and retested multiple times along this $1.80 level before finally starting to make its move to the upside. And if you use the 2.0 Fibonacci extension of the pattern, Van Langen's measured move gets us to the $34 target by mid-2026. And the measured move obviously being the arrow from here to the neckline, and then you break out from the neckline, the move to the upside. The measured move here would be that full extension. And XRP is no stranger to these massive moves. For instance, it has gained 1,072% since 2022 lows. Before that, in 2020 and 2021, XRP price soared over 1,625%. So as we see in the price chart right here, when price spiked up 1,625%, and as of right now, we are up 1,072% from its lows. And let's not forget, in 2025, there's a 95% chance that the spot ETF will be approved, suggesting that the token could really rally towards $27 if the green light comes. As of August 2025, over 95% of XRP supplies in profit right now. So if you're holding XRP, more than likely you're in profit of some kind. A threshold that during the 2020 and 2021 and 2022 to 2025 rallies consistently preceded sharp price corrections as shown in Glassnode. So we do have to be careful of a potential correction. When such a large share of holders sit on gains, profit taking typically accelerates, creating sell pressure, and such a dynamic could challenge XRP's ability to sustain its current uptrend towards $30. So let me know down in the comments, do you think $30 is a realistic number for this bull cycle? Now, I know a lot of you guys in the chat, I can see it down and below, think it's $100 this cycle. Some people saying $1,000, but this is a realistic number based on actual charts. Let me know your opinion down below. All right, so that's a lot of excitement talking about future predictions where price could be going. Now let's talk about pricing right now. What is happening in the price charts? Well, we've been following it very closely. We talked about this. We did have this massive push to the upside, which did leave a very large fair value gap to the downside. Now, the good news is we did actually come back and fill a lot of that fair value gap. You can see right here that there is still some remaining, which would actually get us back to the spider line of $3.01. But good news, price did come down for 4 consecutive days. It bounced exactly off of our $3.10 weekly spider line here and made a massive surge to the upside yesterday. It was a very good day for us, breaking through that $3.25 blue spider line that you can see right here. Now, right now, price is starting to make a pullback, potentially coming to retest this breakout from this bull flag pattern that it just had. But let's take a look. If we do break out of this short-term bull flag pattern, where could we be finishing out? So if we go to the bottom of this level right here, to the top of the flagpole, and we move our flagpole to the breakout zone. Now, there is a likelihood that price comes back and actually retests off this for a couple of reasons. Number one, there is the 10 exponential moving average that we did break above, so that's bullish. But a lot of times it'll want to come down and retest that before actually moving to the upside. So that's my bearish outlook. Price could come down, potentially test off of this level right here, which is $3.17. And it is also this downtrend on this bull flag pattern. But take a look at this breakout. If we do break out and we don't have any pullback, absolutely fine with me. Price would then shoot up to our next level spider line. So first and foremost, we'd be breaking through spider line 343. Then finally having a bodied, we haven't had a bodied candle close above this spider line yet. So once we get a bodied candle close above the spider line, 357 it's now reporting at, the next level of the spider lines brings us to that $3.86 level, which is also the full extension of this short-term bull flag pattern. Now, there is another interesting scenario playing out right here. If we go to this level and we take a look from this bottom to the top side, when we had our new most recent all-time high here, we did also have a flag pattern potentially build out right here. And we have broken out of that zone now. You can see we broke it, came back down, retested, and pushed to the upside. Let's see where this one expands to. If we get this as our official breakout and move to the upside, we could see price pushing all the way to $4.50 based upon that breakout as well. Now, let's take a look at some momentum waves, because this is important. Our daily momentum wave has remained bullish this whole entire time. Yes, there's been some pullbacks, but we have been bullish on the daily, and it does show that we are still making our ways. We had a break to the upside, a pullback for a new higher low. In this case, price is starting to push up. We need to see it break back above these levels of 366. Then we get to create a new higher high. Then we would have another pullback, then another push to the upside. Momentum-wise, short-term momentum has reached a peak here for short-term, but mid-term momentum is rising with it. And as we see last time this happened, they both actually cruised along the top, maxed out for several days, in fact, several weeks before having itself a little reset here. So there is potential of some really good news there. And the reason I bring that up is because if we actually go to the 3-week charts and we take a look here, midterm momentum is maxed out. Short-term momentum is just getting started to the upside. Now, this is 3-week candle, so this does take quite a significant amount of time for this to actually make it all the way up to its maxed out level of the 100. But as of right now, looking at these longer term scenarios, this is a beautiful situation that's happening. Long-term momentum, very bullish, as you can see. Short-term momentum made a rise to the upside. Mid-term momentum followed it. Now take a look at this. Short-term momentum has had this reset during this pullback on the 3-week candles. Didn't have insane price action to the downside, which is nice. Maintained itself, you could say, consolidation in a large range, but we are breaking out of this range now. So if we simply move over to a cleaner chart here, we can take a look and see that that is the case on what's going on. If we go ahead and box off this range here, it is a very large range. I mean, it's from $3.05 to $2, right? So it's a $1.05 range, when back in the day, we traded at 50 cents for freaking ever. But we do have 11 days and 24 hours left in this new 3-week candle. So remember last candle of the 3-week candle did not make the break. It did have a nice wick to the upside, giving us that new all-time high. Unfortunately, could not sustain it. But this 3-week candle that's pushing through right now has 11 days left in it. This is going to be a very important indication of where we're going. In fact, when we break it down to the 1 week, we can see we did finally break out, came back and tested in that level, and now we're starting to push to the upside. On the weekly charts, we are fully bullish. We have reached capacity nearly on our short-term and middle-term momentum here. Would love to see this play out for quite some time and ride this to the upside. If we take a look at Bitcoin, it made its way to the upside, maintained some status here. It did have a slight pullback, but now it's making its move to the upside. Midterm momentum is very, very important, and it's maintaining its high right now. But as we take a look at the weekly charts for Bitcoin, price did get to that previous bodied candle close, could not break that level last week, but the new weekly candle has started. We have 4 days, 23 hours left, and it is starting to make its push above that level. And when we take a look back at Ethereum, what we have been talking about, it's been hitting this same exact level over and over. This comes back from March 2024, then it hit it in May 2024, then it hit it in December of 2024. Well, this time it hit it, did reject, but finally last week breaking through this level, and then we have a continuation week candle right now. Its previous all-time high, 49.51. It's on its way to that level now. Our long-term momentum was riding very poorly, but then broke out to the upside finally here on the week of July 7th, which is also when we broke from this range, and it's been nothing but up since then. And take a look at the 3-week chart for Ethereum on this. Short-term momentum waves finally starting to make its way to the upside. Mid-term momentum wave finally turning its way to the upside. But take a look at this right here. This is absolutely incredible. The 3-week candle just broke back above the zero line on our long-term momentum wave, and it has been steaming to the upside ever since. Another coin to pay very close attention to on the weekly chart, we can see here that Ondo has finally broke to the bullish side of things as of this week right now. So watch for Ondo to the upside. In fact, what we're going to be taking a look at is this candle body close. Let's turn the magnet on so we get it just right. Right here, the level that it needs to break, $1.06, basically $1.07 because $1.68 needs to break that level with the body candle close, and we could see absolute insanity from Ondo. Just getting back to its previous all-time high is going to be a 100.3% rise to the upside from where we're sitting right now.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers,